Welcome to the Florida Gateway College Library Orientation. I'm Patricia Morris, Coordinator of Library Research. We're going to look at the services and resources that are available to you in the library, many of which can be accessed off campus. First, let's look at the features of the library itself, which is located in Building 200 on the east side of campus. The library is a great space to use a computer, study, or work on assignments and get help from library staff. We have many items available for you to check out, including about 30,000 books on the shelves, DVDs of popular movies, nonfiction subjects, and foreign films, and a large collection of audiobooks on CD and MP3. We can help you locate any material in our collection. If you have suggestions for books or other materials you'd like us to add, please let us know. We can also request to borrow books we don't own from other libraries for you through interlibrary loan. We have the Lake City Reporter on microfilm from 1901 to 2004. After that, it's available online at the University of Florida Digital Collections. We can help you access the microfilm to look up local news stories or events. We have about 40 computers for students to use and 5 study rooms. There are 3 small and 2 large study rooms with keys that can be checked out for 2 hours with your student ID. Each study room has a computer and whiteboard in it. You can request a room for a group to use or to use individually. We have a beautiful reading and study area at the far end of the library. The large windows and high ceilings showcase the natural setting outside. Your student ID is your library card, and you need it to check out materials, check out a study room, or to get free printing and copying. Remember to always bring your student ID with you to the library. DVDs check out for 2 weeks, and most other materials can be checked out for 3 weeks and can be renewed if no one else has reserved it. Students can check out a total of 10 items, 3 of which can be audiovisual materials and 3 can be from the same subject area. This is our family-friendly study space where students can work on a computer while supervising children, playing games, or watching movies in this adjacent quiet play area. Now let's go to the library website and do some searching. From the Florida Gateway College website, click on the library link at the top. The library hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Saturday, 1:30 to 5:30. We have different hours in the summer, and hours vary between semesters and during holidays. We also have extended hours during finals. On this page, you'll find a link for the library catalog and the databases, which we'll come back to shortly, a link to the library Facebook page, and also Ask a Librarian. Ask a Librarian is an online chat desk staffed by librarians in the state. They're open when we're closed if you need reference help. Under Research Help and Guides, you'll find helpful information, including a video on avoiding plagiarism and citation help for both MLA and APA, and a link to the Purdue OWL at the bottom. Going back to the main page, let's click on Search the Library to go to the library catalog. The first thing you need to do here is log in. The borrow ID is your FGC student ID, and the PIN or password is your 8-digit birthday. So logging into the library is different than logging into Canvas or MyFGC or onto a PC. When you're logged in to the library information, you'll see your name on the left side. That way you know that you have access to all of the resources that are available to you. Make sure that you test your login if you haven't already, and contact the library if you need any help. So let's do some searching here. The library catalog will search the books on the shelf, the DVDs, the audiobooks, any of the physical items that we have, and also any of the collections that we own, including the ebook collection. So I'm going to search here for Hamlet. So this is my list of results. I have an ebook, DVD, several books, and even a streaming video at the bottom. If I only want the books that are in the library, I can click this box over here and it will make that selection. So let's look at this one. Here we have Hamlet by William Shakespeare. This is the call number. We're on the Library of Congress classification system, which is what most academic libraries are on, as opposed to the Dewey Decimal System, which is what most public libraries are on. I would write this down if I wanted to pull this from the shelf. You can click on the title to get more information about this book. So this list of books will be books that include the play itself and also books about the play and about Shakespeare. I can click on the Articles tab, and let me do a different search. This one's for net neutrality. So I'm searching for articles on net neutrality. This catalog has a feature called Research Starter. Research starters are summary articles that provide a background on whatever the topic is. And if your topic has a research starter, it will appear at the top of the list of all the results. So these are articles written in Wikipedia-like format on popular research topics. And then the list of results is the same as it normally would be. So I have lots of articles on net neutrality. Now if my assignment is to use only scholarly or peer-reviewed articles, I can click this box on the side and it'll apply that criteria to my list. If I want to limit the date range of my articles, I can go to the advanced search and expand it, and then here say I only want articles from 2009 to 2019, and I can apply that, and then I have my list of results this way. So here's an article, Neutralized, Big Tech's Retreat from Net Neutrality, and I can click on full text and it'll open up the article. Here's another one. With an article on net neutrality. So I can do my searching that way. I may want to, let me go back to the basic search, and I can apply other filters on the side here. If I only want articles from academic journals or news articles, magazines, I can select that. If I want individual years, I can select that over here as well. We're going to move from searching the library catalog to searching individual databases. So we can access those here, or if we go back to the main library page, we have databases A to Z here and databases by subject. So databases by subject, we have these broad subject areas. If we want to see databases that have to do with, say, education, we could click on that to expand this list. Or if you want to see the ones that have to do with the health and medicine topics, here's a list of databases specific to those areas. Or we can go to the list of databases A to Z. There's about 90 on here. So these are all the databases that you have access to. Some of them are very focused, such as Greenfile or Films on Demand or Education Source. Some of them, including these two that start with the word academic, are very broad and comprehensive and cover many, many topics. And we're going to start looking at these two databases. We're going to look at these first two databases in more detail. So I'm going to click on Academic Onefile, and it comes up, and this is from the publisher Gale, and any of the Gale databases that you look at will be similar to this. So here I'm going to do a new search for Planet Pluto and click Enter. Now I have 601 academic journals that returned here, but they're not all full text. So here this is just a citation. This one does say full text. If I want to have it only show me full text results, I can click this box over on the right side that says full text, and now I have 424 articles that are all full text. So I want to make sure that I do that so that I can get to the content. So let's take a look at these. Here's one, an article that says The Controversy Over Pluto, Planet or Astronomic Oddball. So I can click on the title here to go to the detail, or I can go right down here to download the PDF. Let's click on the title, and I'll show you here's the information, and it does have the full text of the article, just the words, and further down some of the images from it. If I want to see how it looked in the original publication, that's what I would be shown if I click Download PDF. So let me click on that. It'll take a few seconds to open up here, and then it's going to show me as it did in the original publication. Let me make it a little bit smaller. So here is the PDF of the article. I'm going to go back to the detail by closing out the tab at the top because I wanted to show you the citation tool over on the side here. With most of the databases, there's some kind of citation tool that will give you a suggestion for how to do it in one of the citation formats. And we're going to talk more about citations at the end. But I wanted to point out that in Gale, it's over here on the side, it says Citation Tools, and it will show you a suggested citation in MLA, or if you're assigned APA, here's APA. But I need to caution you that there are often errors in these database-generated citation tools, and we'll talk more about that at the end. But I wanted to show you that it is available here for you to use some of the information, but you always have to double-check it and proof it yourself. So that's the citation tool there. I'm going to close out Academic Onefile to go back to our database list, and now we're going to look at Academic Search Complete from the database EBSCO. And we have a lot of Gale and a lot of EBSCO databases, so whenever you bring up one of those, it's going to look similar to these database environments here. Now, first thing I see is in EBSCO, full text is already checked. This box is already checked. So that's good. All of the results that I get, I'll be able to get to the full content. So here I'm going to search for planet Pluto. In Academic Search Complete, I have over 1,000 articles. They're all full text. If my assignment is to use only scholarly or peer-reviewed journals, I could make that selection here. I have a date slider. I could slide this over, or I could just type in the box here if I wanted to change the range of publication dates. Now here's one that says In Pursuit of Pluto from Astronomy Journal. So let me click on that. And I have an abstract, which is a sentence that tells me what the article is about. Down below here, I have the HTML text and some of the images. Or I could click on PDF full text to pull it up again as it does in the original publication. Over on the right side, while this is pulling up, here it comes. Here's the article. Over on the right side, I have this yellow box. If I hover over it, it says Cite. And this is the citation tool that EBSCO uses. Now, there are many different citation formats. The two that you'll be assigned most would be APA or MLA. And once again, it gives you the citation information, but you always have to check it. And I'll show you how to do that at the end. I'm going to click off of the citation tool and go back to my results here. And I'm going to click the tab at the top to go back to my list of all of the databases. Now we're going to look at some other individual databases. There are two good ones on this list when you have to write a report or do a presentation or speech having to do with topics in the news, controversial issues, or current events. The first one we're going to look at is called CQ Researcher. And this database has reports, some are shorter, some are longer, that have to do with all of these type of topics. There are some featured ones on the front here, and then we have these broad topics on the right over here. You can also go up here to Browse Topics and see these broad subject areas and click on one of those. And then there's some subtopics along here. You can also go to Browse Reports and look them up by date. If I click by date and then we look at 2017, these are all the reports that have come out so far in 2017. So let's look at one of these in more detail. I'm going to click on Hunger in America. It's one of the recent reports, and all of the full reports are designed in the same way. They're very extensive, they have a lot of detail, and they begin with an introduction on the topic. You can see the table of contents over on the side here. An introduction, then an overview of the topic, what the background is, the current situation, and they're all included on this main page, so you can just scroll down from one section to another. There's a lot of text, they include images, and see these numbers here, These are footnotes, so if you click on any one of those, it'll give you the citation for where this information came from. And that would be another source of documentation that you could use, another article that you could use as part of your research on this topic. So let me scroll down and get to the next section here. Here we are, background and current situation. And a little bit further down, here's a pro-con section. So this is asking a question about this topic of hunger, and this person takes one side of the question, this person takes the other side of the question. So it's a very lengthy article. Here's a chronology about poverty and hunger, and down here are more resources that you could look up, and here are all of our footnotes. So it's a very comprehensive website. You can click on one of the links here to go directly to, for instance, the pro and con section, or you can look at the full report all at once. Also on the side over here is a chronology issue tracker going from our current topic, Hunger in America, and all the different reports that have been included in CQ Researcher. This topic goes all the way back to 1941, so you can see historically how this topic has been reported. So CQ Researcher is a very powerful database that has a lot of information within each full report. There's a lot of content and many more resources that you can follow to have other websites, other articles about this topic. To go back to the list of databases, I'm going to close out the tab at the top. And our next database is called Opposing Viewpoints. And it's similar to CQ Researcher in that it's good for articles that have to do with controversial issues, topics in the news, current events. So I'm going to click on Opposing Viewpoints. And there are some featured topics on the front page, but to see the full list of all the topics included, I'm going to click on Browse Issues. And there's a very long list here of all of the topics that are included in Opposing Viewpoints. Some of them have been updated by these green boxes here. So let's click on poverty and take a look at this topic in Opposing Viewpoints. So here's the introductory article. I can click on View More to see the rest of it. Gives me some background and definitions on what this subject is. And then go back to the main page about poverty. Now the articles are called Viewpoints, so I have over 500 viewpoints already right here. A couple of hundred out of academic journals. There are statistics, audio files, many news stories, images, websites. Here's a map. So it's a very comprehensive website with a lot of content, just hundreds of articles on this topic. So this would be a good place to come to get background information on my topic for my project and do all my research. There are many other databases on this list. Just ask us in the library if you need help finding resources for your research assignments. I'm going to go back to the main library page and go to Research Help and Guides to show the MLA and APA citation resources once again located at the bottom of the page. So here we have MLA Help. There's a 3-part video series on MLA 8th edition. These videos explain how to write in-text citations in the Works Cited page in MLA style, explaining the rules and giving examples for different formats. You can also access the MLA template in Excel file format or in PDF. This template helps you organize your information into a correctly formatted MLA entry. And above the videos, there's a link to the MLA Style Center, which also gives helpful information, tutorials, and frequently asked questions on learning the MLA style. There's also help on APA style. There's a video explaining APA in-text citations and references and links to the APA Style Home and the APA Style blog, which has helpful explanations and examples on many of the detailed rules. And at the bottom of the page is a link to the Purdue OWL. Click on the OWL, which is the online writing lab from Purdue University, and then you can go to either the MLA or APA guide. and then the formatting and style guide. And here you have a list of lots of examples and explanations of the different citation formats. This one's for MLA. If we go to the electronic sources and we want to see examples for websites or an article from an online databases, here are different examples on how to do that. So the Purdue OWL has a lot of very helpful information. There's also a sample paper if you want to take a look at that, and you can see examples for the fonts and the page numbers, the spacing, all the different details that you need to know to do a correctly formatted paper. Here's an example of the work cited. You don't want to get points off because your citations were done incorrectly. So the Purdue OWL has lots of helpful information, including on using research and understanding avoiding plagiarism. There's a lot of information here. You want to make sure that you understand that. And also you can go back to the library page where we have the video on avoiding plagiarism. Today we've covered a lot of information, including talking about the library space and its resources, searching the library catalog for materials in various formats, searching the databases, some that are broad and cover many topics and some that are more focused and specific in content, and resources for MLA and APA citations, including the Purdue OWL. We've seen that there's so much information available to you at Florida Gateway College, and you can always ask us here in the library for assistance. So good luck with your classes, and we look forward to seeing you in the library soon.